Egypt is a country to explore. In Egypt, we have a lot of things to talk about. Whoever is interested in ancient culture, civilization, history, definitely you must come to Egypt. Well, talking about Cairo in particular, we have many places. These places will tell us a lot about ancient Egypt, will tell us a lot about pharaohs and different eras. Today, we are standing here in one of the most important sites. Well, definitely the Giza pyramids is the most famous site when it comes to pyramids. But before visiting the Giza pyramids, you have to learn more about the concept of building a pyramid. And we decided today to come here to Saqqara Pyramid to find out more about this pyramid, more about the concept itself, who built this pyramid, and more about the whole area. Let's move inside here to bring you more about it and more about ancient history. Saqqara is one of the most extensive archaeological sites in Egypt. It was the cemetery for Memphis, the capital of ancient Egypt. Yet, it is still one of the virgin archaeological sites, despite the fact that so much has already been found here. The site is dominated by the step pyramid of King Zoser, which goes back to the year 2700 BC. It is one of the oldest stone structures in the world. Saqqara is also the site of many tombs from the first and second dynasties. Most are made out of mud bricks, but some tombs are made of limestone, decorated with daily life scenes. Being in Saqqara, you will notice that it is divided into the southern Saqqara, which is dominated by the step pyramid, and the northern one, which is dominated by the pyramid of King Titi and Mastaba tombs of the Old Kingdom. So in visiting Saqqara, make sure to stop by the step pyramid of King Zoser and its surrounding complex, the pyramid of King Titi, the Mastaba tomb of Ti, and the tomb of Ptah-Hotep. The step pyramid was built for King Zoser, one of the greatest kings of the Third Dynasty. Egyptians built pyramids as tombs for the pharaohs and their queens. The pharaohs were buried in pyramids of many different shapes and sizes, from before the beginning of the Old Kingdom to the end of the Middle Kingdom. So originally meant as a tomb, this pyramid was designed and built by the great architect Imhotep. The pyramid is built as a step pyramid 60 meters high and consisting of 6 steps, each one built on top of each other and smaller than the one below. Today it is constructed as one of the oldest stone structures built by man, and the first time the ancient Egyptians would attempt to use limestone. Actually, the pyramid is entirely built of limestone, small bricks of limestone, and not of the best quality, yet it has remained for more than 4,700 years. So first of all, tell me about your impression about visiting Egypt, and tell me from where do you come?
So my name is Ashley and I'm from New York. I originally tried to come here in March, but my flight got canceled because of COVID, but I made it a point to come here just to experience the culture, the food, the people, and I love it so far.
Have you been before here to Egypt?
No, this is my first time.
So taking the decision to come to visit Egypt to learn more about history and culture here, whose idea was it first of all?
It's actually my idea. I'm actually here on a solo trip by myself, so I was really adamant about coming here.
Any of your friends have been here before?
I don't think so, but I've been posting a lot about it on social media, just showing off the beauty of Egypt, and I think everyone's really interested now.
So what about their impression about this?
I think they didn't know how beautiful it was, and I think I also helped with that, showing it off the beauty. And with my camera, I bought multiple camera equipment.
Tell me first, for how long do you plan to stay here?
I'm staying about 4 days.
How are you going to spend the 4 days?
Tours.
Where did you go?
Where am I staying?
No, I mean, where did you go? What are the places that you have visited?
So this is actually my first full day here. So I've only been in Giza. I came here, and this is actually my second stop. So
you have been to the pyramids?
Yes, I have, and it's more beautiful than my textbooks, actually.
So I want to know more about your impression when you were standing just in front of the Giza pyramids.
So is it okay if I talk about the Sphinx? So I actually got a little emotional looking at the Sphinx because, I don't know, it kind of looked like me in a sense, and in America there's not very much representation of people that look like me, so the full lips and everything like that, I really enjoyed seeing that.
Showing power and domination, so it looks like you, right?
Yes, I would say so.
So talking about here, this area, and I believe that you have finished your tour, so definitely have some information about the Saqqara pyramid and more about the concept of the pyramids. Can you tell me any of this?
About the pyramids? So you want to know information about all the pyramids?
What do you have in your mind about the pyramids?
So I know that there were 3 pyramids. I'm I'm trying to think of the name.
And okay, and here we are standing by the step pyramid, right? So, did you like it? Did you like the idea of building such a structure?
Yeah, so I actually didn't know. One of my original questions was why the pyramid shape in general. And I learned that it was because from the rays of the sun. And I thought that was really interesting and cool because I didn't even learn that in my textbook. So it was very interesting.
So, what is your message to anyone who's watching us, or when you go back to your country, talking about Egypt and about your trip here?
I think my message would be definitely experience everything for yourself. Every country has beauty in it, and I loved my first trip here, and I'm definitely gonna tell all my friends and family about coming here. And I bought lots of souvenirs, so definitely show off the beauty.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The pyramid's four sides are very nearly aligned to the four cardinal points. On the northern side is the original entrance of the pyramid. And on the northwestern side, you will notice a little room that is built with a gradient angle similar to the pyramid itself. And in there was found a beautiful statue of King Zoser made of limestone, but it was moved to the Egyptian Museum in Cairo and replaced by a replica. So, as a tour guide coming here to Saqqara, definitely this is of great importance because many of the people they prefer to go to the Giza Pyramids plateau to learn more about the pyramids and all this. But definitely visiting here, one of the oldest structure in the world. Not only this, first pyramid to be built. So, I want you to tell me more about this concept and how people perceive it, or how do they listen to it.
Actually, the area where we are, this is called Saqqara area. It was a great necropolis here, and it was the capital of our country, our lovely country, Egypt, in specific at the second and also at the third dynasty. Belongs and it dates back to a famous king. His name is King Djoser or King Zoser. He is the founder of the third dynasty. And as we can see, this is the step pyramid. Actually, it was built by his famous engineer, which was named by Imhotep. It was a great and genius engineer. He was the first one to use the first measure of art of building with a stone, because before that, actually, the ancient people, the burying process, it was like digging a small pit for the tombs or the graves. Then they put the dead person. Then they developed a little bit by adding the dead person resting on his left side and his face towards to the east region, because east region, this is the place where the sun rises. They thought with every day when the sun rises, the soul or the spirit will return back again to the body of the king. That's why he is gonna enjoy his long life and eternal life.
If I asked you about the entrance, for example, from here, and I know that they used to have some festivals inside, and it is the Hebset, right? I forgot it. So I know about this important event for ancient Egyptians, and they used to celebrate it. It takes some few days for this. Tell us more about it.
In the old times, actually, we used to have here a very important festival. It's called Hebset Festival in hieroglyphics. This festival used to held about each like 25 or 30 years of ruling for the king. The king used to do this festival actually to prove for the people that he's still able for the capacity, still having the power for fertilization to get a new generations from the same blood. And we believe also as well our Egyptian archaeologists, they told us and they informed us that this festival was not held until the king do some of the holy missions, which they are the first one actually to build his own tomb, which is exactly the step pyramid. The second one to do like offering for the gods, which is his temple over there. The third one to do the unification for both of the lands, Upper and Lower Egypt, The fourth one to protect the country against any enemies during that time. And the fifth one to do the Hepset festival, which is this. That's what we thought about it. Actually, the king used to stay in this empty yard, and he fight with a bull. He got his sword and his shield, and he must kill the bull to show the people he still have the powerful for reconnecting himself again as a king.
Just think that here one is exploring 4,700 years of time. Down there, it is a maze of little corridors and tunnels. Found in some of these tunnels more than 30,000 jars, which were made out of several types of stone, alabaster, marble, and slate. When we talk about Saqqara, we're talking about different things. First of all, we're talking about the whole dynasty to which it belongs to. We're talking, of course, about King Djoser and talking about Imhotep. Well, Imhotep is the genius architect who built this pyramid. We talk about Imhotep not only as an architect, but he excelled in many different fields. We're going again to move inside to go to the Saqqara pyramid. First, I want you just to take a look at the pyramid itself, about the concept, about how did he think about it, and then I will tell you more about Imhotep, because this is something of great importance, and you will find him that he is really a great personality when we talk about people who excelled in different fields, who belong to the old dynasties. Let's find out together more about Saqqara and more about the whole era to which it belongs to. The step pyramid was built for King Djoser, one of the greatest kings of the Third Dynasty. Ancient Egyptians built pyramids as tombs for the pharaohs and their queens. The pharaohs were buried in pyramids of many different shapes and sizes, from before the beginning of the Old Kingdom to the end of the Middle Kingdom. Originally meant as a tomb, this pyramid was designed and built by the great architect Imhotep. The pyramid is built as a step pyramid, 60 meters high, and consisting of 6 steps, each one built on top of each other and smaller than the one below.
constructed is one of the oldest stone structures built by man, and the first time the ancient Egyptians would attempt to use limestone. Actually, the pyramid is entirely built of limestone, small bricks of limestone, and not of the best quality, yet it has remained for more than 4,700 years. And to the southern side of the pyramid, one can find a burial shaft, almost 28 meters deep, which is believed to be a symbolic tomb for the king, as kings of the first three dynasties used to build two tombs for themselves, one a real tomb and the other one a cenotaph. The pyramid is surrounded by a rectangular enclosure wall that measured 277 meters by 544 meters. Mostly ruined today, but it was originally 10 meters high, and we can see parts of it. The huge entrance and why it was built. The entrance leads to a colonnade that has 40 columns. Each one is attached to the wall behind, and the style is called engaged columns, and that they were built to ensure that they would be able to endure the heavy weight of the ceiling. One can notice here that in between the columns a large number of little rooms were created. They once contained statues representing King Zoser as ruler of Upper and Lower Egypt.
With this, we come to the end of our backpack for today. Whenever we talk about Egypt, always remember we have a lot of things to talk about. We are talking about culture, history, civilization. In Cairo in particular, we have different places, so many places where you can enjoy your vacation, especially if you are interested in history and civilization. That was all for now. Next week we'll be back with more about Egypt. Till then, thank you for joining us and bye.